Hello, my people. What's up?
How you doing, eh? Measuring some cracks. We got an ugly ass parking lot. Look at this place. Nice guy though. At 5 feet. Yeah. So came out here to the Brookfields today to do some measuring on some cracks. They need some crack filling done. And I was just talking to the guy, and I was just like, hey, this actually looks like this would be a good subject for a video, because it helps me explain that there are some cracks that you just don't want to use rubber on. Right? Manufacturer says you shouldn't be using it on cracks that are over an inch wide. So what do? We gotta get him filled, boss. This guy needs his cracks filled. Well, we have a mastic machine. That's what we use. And I know everybody doesn't have a mastic machine. So what do they use? Well, I don't know. They probably just use rubber. And that's not the right way to do it. But that's how I did it until I had a mastic machine. So I guess that's what we do. We just go with what we got until we got something else. That's how I feel about it. Because some of these are bad. Now, what would I have done if I didn't have a mastic machine? Well, some of these are like 3 inches wide. Like, look at this one right here. You know, look at that. That's like 5 inches wide. So if you don't have mastic, how do you fix something like that? Well, you got to pull all that rubber out of there first of all, and then you got to stuff it with something like Aquafalt. You know, this is a 3-inch crack. You got to stuff it with something like Aquafalt, and then go over it with rubber. You know? I mean, that's really your best bet. Now, I did see that they are now making applicators similar to the MA10s that are for mastic. It's like a banding machine. And that's pretty neat if that's the case. Because man, I mean, if you had a mastic machine that was capable of filling these cracks, but it was simple to push and apply, well, your life just got pretty easy, and the quality of your work just got 100 times better. Now, if you haven't watched any of our mastic videos, mastic's a pain in the butt. It's hot. It takes like 3 guys to do. Holy cow. It takes like 3 guys to do. It's very labor intensive. If you're doing it when it's cold out, then you got to be really quick. So if you had the ability to have an MA10 and to do it quick like that, well, it's not too bad. So I'm just getting a loose idea of what's here for mastic, because I don't think I really want to know what the number is. I think the money would be ridiculous. I mean, I'm already up to 1,000 feet of mastic, for crying out loud. But, these guys, they wanted a quote on this parking lot as well as the big one across the street. And I gave them an idea of what the one across the street would cost. It was, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of like, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of like 17,000 bucks or something. And I said to the guy, I was like, it looks like you use a lot of sand. And he's like, yeah. Like, you don't want to seal your parking lot. You can seal your parking lot and it's gonna all be gone in the spring. It doesn't matter if I do 2 coats. If you're not willing to switch to salt, don't bother sealing your parking lot. So then he was like, oh, I appreciate your honesty. Then he was like, what about, we want to do it because of the added benefit it gives us. We're trying to get an extra 10 years out of this. We paved it back in 2015. I started laughing. I said, man, that's the biggest trick in the book right there. You thinking you're gonna get all this extra years out of your parking lot because you seal coated it. Not happening. They couldn't believe it. He's like, wow, I can't believe you're telling me this. It's like, listen, man, if I was trying to date you, and I started off by lying to you, you think there's any chance we're gonna get married? Nope. So, yeah, I tell the truth. And yeah, I might not get $25,000 worth of parking lots out of the guy, but I'll get 6 or 7 in crack filling and line striping. And then if they ever decide that they want to spend the money, they'll call me because they'll remember me as being honest.